What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake and Kyle coming back at you today, doing some rankings, Kyle. We took a little bit of a break with rankings because people are very passionate about rankings. Don't forget, though, this is May, right? I mean, it's almost June. We're getting close to June, but it's only May. So don't get butthurt with May rankings. This is kind of where we establish our base level, right? This is kind of where we start at, and we make our adjustments from here until kickoff. But Kyle, today we're going to be talking about some top 12 quarterbacks for fantasy football here in 2020.
Yeah, and I love doing the rankings episodes because we get to talk about a lot of players at one time, and it's kind of different than the other shows we do. So the other shows we're going on a couple of players at a time, a lot of deep diving information. For these ranking videos, we're flying through guys. We're going to give you some quick hitting information. We're going to get through our top 12, and then we're going to move on. So make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel so you can see all of those other deep diving videos that we do. And if you're already a part of Headliner Nation, you know what's going on here.
Yeah, we'll dig deep. One of those. We're going to do one of those on a lot of players all off season long. So don't be concerned here. If you're looking for more information, either leave a comment down below or look for a lot of our other videos on the channel. We'll get you covered here in the off season. But Kyle, before we get into our rankings, just a quick reminder, the draft guide's for sale on the website. You can pre-order it now, scheduled to drop right around June 30th. It's going to be jam-packed full of information, almost 600 virtual pages to help you dominate. So if you're interested, there's a link down below. Head over to our website. But now, Kyle, let's go to our top 12 quarterbacks. And I'm going to let you start off. Who you got number one overall?
You want me to start off? Okay, I'll start it off.
You start it off. You can do it. I'll let you.
It's Patrick Mahomes. Okay. Yes, Lamar Jackson could end up being the number one as well, but a full season of Patrick Mahomes, definitely think he ends up being number one just because maybe we see Lamar Jackson just a little bit kept from running around nearly as much as he did last season, but I still got him at number two. So is it really that big of a difference?
Yeah, I mean, we're right there together. Obviously, I'm pretty sure on everybody's rankings in the world, you have Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have them mixed up. Some people are going to have, Mahomes at 1, Mahomes at 2, but it's really 1A, 1B. Neither one of these guys are a bad option. They're going to have to be an expensive option, though, because you're going to have to draft them super early in your fantasy football leagues. But, I mean, not a whole lot bad you can say about either one of these guys, right? I mean, two of the better offenses in football, Lamar Jackson with that rushing upside. Look for Mecole Hardman to maybe take a step forward in the Kansas City offense this year. They added Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Can't go wrong with either one of them. So, Kyle, what about number 3? Because number 3 I know we differ on.
Number 3 for me is Dak Prescott. I mean, in terms of weapons, the dude might have more weapons around him than any other offense in the league outside of maybe Kansas City, depending on how you want to look at it. But with Dak Prescott, I mean, you've got a great offensive line. I mean, you've got great receivers. You've got a really good running back. I mean, what else could you ask for? The dude is going to pop off this season if he doesn't hold out.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dak. We are very big Dak supporters over here. I got Dak at number 4, so he's not far behind where you have him. I'm pretty sure we've been on the Dak bandwagon for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 years, saying, hey, this guy is a top fantasy option. You may not like the guy, but when it comes to fantasy football, he's a great option, and he only got better with more weapons here in the offseason. So, yeah, I got Dak at number 4. Who do you have at number 4, Kyle?
At number 4, Josh Allen. So I'm going to roll with Josh Allen there. Lots of rushing upside. They've added Stephon Diggs. You return all 5 starters on the offensive line with the running backs there. I mean, you have a good tandem of running backs. So, the one thing we got to see from Josh Allen is he's just got to, the accuracy. He's just got to get a little bit more consistent with him for him to take the next step. But from a pure fantasy football standpoint, he should have pretty good upside every single week.
Yeah, absolutely. I got him down at number 7, a couple spots lower, but for all the reasons you just mentioned, he has plenty of weapons at his disposal, right? I mean, they added the Stephon Diggs, a lot of people sleeping on Cole Beasley, John Brown's still there, plenty of options, and plus he always has that little rushing upside that we've seen in the past. Also, love Josh Allen. Maybe subconsciously I put him a few spots lower in hope that his ADP stays a little bit later so I can get him in more leagues this year. Maybe that's what we're doing. I don't know. I love Josh Allen, though. What about number 5? Who you got at 5?
We're going to go with Russell Wilson, the ever-consistent Russell Wilson. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have nearly the type of ceiling as a Josh Allen or a Prescott or Jackson or Mahomes, But he's going to be safe. He's going to be safe. I mean, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are going to be a good combo again. All depends on the run game. Do they end up running the ball as much as they did last year? Maybe not top 5 in rushing attempts like the last 2 seasons, especially depending on what happens with the running backs. But if they drop more towards maybe 10-ish, Wilson's going to have to throw the ball a little bit more fantasy points.
Yep, that's for sure. I got Wilson down at number 6. He's like you said, consistent, right? You know what you're going to get week in and week out. You may not get those big, 40, 50-point Mahomes Jackson type games, but you're going to go out there. You're going to get around 18 to 20 fantasy points every single week. He's solid. The running game is going to be the biggest question mark for me. I mean, there's rumors going around they could add a running back. Devontae Freeman's name's been dangled out there a little bit. Maybe Chris Carson isn't, going to be good to go by the start of the season. If that running game can't get going like it has the past couple years, I agree. Russell Wilson's going to start throwing more and could definitely move up these ranks. All right, next up, Kyle, who you got at 6?
I mean, it's going to end up being yours and I's biggest disagreement this offseason because mine's Kyler Murray, but I know you've got him at number 3.
Yes.
I'm a little bit more apprehensive than you are. I mean, I'm still worried about that offensive line there. He's a good quarterback. I mean, it's not that I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. I mean, he's got Kenyon Drake. He's got weapons. You couldn't really ask for a better setup other than just having a better offensive line. And with everything going on in the real world, when are they going to get together on the field? Are we not going to have OTAs? Are we going to miss training camp? Like, what could end up happening with that? I have a little bit of a feeling it could be like a Baker Mayfield OBJ type situation where your new shiny weapon comes in and you just don't end up clicking on that, on those full cylinders right away as you would hope. So I'm just being a little apprehensive.
I'm trying not to be biased here. I mean, obviously love, from the hometown Arizona Cardinals, but he was quarterback 7 last year as a rookie, and his offensive line didn't get any worse. I mean, if anything, maybe they're a hair better, not great, but maybe. And if his rookie year coming in at quarterback 7, now in the second year of a Cliff Kingsbury offense, and he gets DeAndre Hopkins, I just can't see any world where he doesn't improve. We have the rushing upside. The guy is a great passer of the football. He does not get enough credit for the ball that he delivers. And it's really cool to say ball delivery. But I mean, the guy can throw the football. I mean, he can make every throw in the book. He can, throw on the run, which is great. That's why he fits the scheme in Arizona. It's because he's not going to get great blocking. But when the pass protection breaks down, he can scramble and make plays happen. Now with DeAndre Hopkins, I love the big play potential. So
you say the offense is like the offensive line is a hair better, but I mean, it's like a hair on a 13-year-old boy in their armpit. Is it really a hair? I mean, it's like, just saying.
I mean, Kyle, quit making fun of it. All right, moving on. Number 7,
it's
Kyle.
It's a 13-year-old boy.
I mean, it's just barely. Is it hair? I don't know. It might be at this point. Whatever.
It's like, Dad, look what I've got here, and it's like, that's nothing, son. Get away from me.
Just wait. All right, who you got next?
All right, number 7, we're gonna go with Drew Brees. What's not to like about the New Orleans Saints? They might be the best team in all of football. No offense to the defending champions, okay, but this team is going to be really, really good. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. They're going to be really good on defense as well.
I love this entire division for fantasy football. There's going to be a lot of fantasy points to be scored. I actually have Drew Brees up at number 5 overall. I mean, think about it. He's going to have all the shootouts with Tom Brady in that offense of Tampa Bay, Matt Ryan in Atlanta with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. They're going to have plenty of options to go around this division where I can see them being in some real shootouts this year, having to continue to throw. That's one thing that we didn't have to see a lot from New Orleans. They were able to get a lead at times last year and kind of somewhat coast the second half. This year, they could be totally different. They could be in a lot of shootout games, and I love Drew Brees. He's, very few, years left on this guy's window. I mean, it's ending quickly, and they're going to go out there, and like you said, it could be one of the best offenses in football. Love me some Drew Brees. Got him at number 5. What about number 8, Kyle? Who you got at 8?
I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I hate dropping the guy down my rankings this year, but he loses his best receiver. I mean, they've done some things to try and replace him, but all the weapons around him are basically one play away from missing significant time. I mean, you've got David Johnson in the backfield now, but I mean, how healthy is he really? How effective is he going to be? There's just so many unknowns with that offense. it could end up going just fine. And Deshaun Watson could be a top 5 quarterback. Absolutely. It could also completely be over with and done by week 2, and he's going to struggle and get killed because his offensive line can't keep him safe the rest of the season. So there's just so much ifs with that offense. I'm trying to stay away from him this year.
Yep, I got him right there at the same spot, right at the 8th spot. Right now, that kind of gives me the warm fuzzy. That's where I'm comfortable with him as of right now. Not as much as a dig on him, as much as it is I'm higher on the other guys that are ahead of him. He has a great slew of playmakers. Like you said, if they can stay healthy. We know he loves Will Fuller. Randall Cobb is in the mix, and he used to be good at some point. Brandon Cooks now, he's a big play machine. They got plenty of options, right? It's just if they can stay healthy. If they can, Deshaun Watson's going to have a great year. But if they struggle early with those injuries, he's going to struggle also. So I feel good at the 8th spot as of right now. He may inch up a spot or two, maybe the closer we get. But right now, yeah, I got him at 8 also. What about 9?
Number 9, I've bumped Tom Brady up a few spots since the last time we did rankings. I had him at 12 last time. I'm going to move him to 9 because over the last couple of days, we've seen some pictures of him getting together with his offense finally. And that's really what I needed to see is new quarterback in a new system. Well, not a new quarterback, an older quarterback in a new system. However, I mean, you gotta work on that. I mean, you have to have that timing down with your receivers. He was there with Mike Evans. OJ Howard was there. I believe Cameron Brate was there as well.
Dare Ogunbala Walla Walla.
Weapons. What'd you just say?
Dare Ogunbala Walla Walla, or however you say his name, he was out there too.
Dare Alla Walla Bing Bang.
That's right, Alla Walla Bing Bang.
So that's what I wanted to see. So he's getting that work in. It's going to be a good offense. So yep, I bumped him up. I got him at number 9. Plus with the defense, how good is it really going to be? If it's anywhere like last season and it just doesn't quite step up, they could find themselves in some shootouts.
Yep, agreed. I got Brady at number 10. He's right there, right in the same ballpark. And like you said, he needed to get out there and get with some of these guys. Obviously, he's going to have that chemistry with Gronk. We already know about that past. But getting on the same page with Evans and Godwin is going to be a must there in Tampa Bay. But it's Tom Brady, and he's got a ton of weapons, and he's out there practicing football. You got to have him inside the top 12 just based off of potential and his name value at this point. I mean, you can't really count him out. He's produced with a lot less in the past.
Mm-hmm.
What about next? Who you got next at number 10?
We're going to go Matthew Stafford at number 10. So he's probably the one guy that I see the most questions on. When we've done our rankings this offseason, people are always like, what about Matthew Stafford? What's going to end up happening with him? I just dropped an article over on our Patreon page. So if you don't support over on Patreon, $5 extra a month, you can head over there and you get a ton of extra content, including our new podcast articles. We're doing some exclusive videos over there as well. So head over there if you want to get that extra information. And this was an article I just wrote because I think the Lions offense could end up being really good this year. And as a Lions fan, I'm definitely not a biased type Lions fan. I mean, Jake, you know that for a fact. I will rip this team apart at a split second if I don't think they're doing what they should. But I'm setting some expectations this year because it could end up being really, really good. Stafford was the quarterback 6 before going down with his injury last year. He was playing really, really well, but recency bias kind of shuts him out of the door for a lot of fantasy owners because we just didn't see him for the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think the fact that they didn't take a quarterback early in the draft kind of shows that they have faith in Matthew Stafford and that he's going to be their quarterback for a while. If they had any concerns with his back, I could have seen them making some type of move here in the offseason or in the draft. Yeah. I don't have Stafford inside my top 12. He is just outside the top 12. And it really, for me, kind of similar to Tom Brady. Let's just see Matthew Stafford out there on the field and throwing the football and healthy. And instead of just taking the word of it that he's healthy and good to go, I want to see it. I don't have him far out. Like you said, he was one of the best fantasy quarterbacks the first half of last season. And people are just counting him out because of, I get it, it says a broken back. That sounds really bad.
I will say this, I don't want to give too much away, but in that article I wrote, may have compared what they could do in 2020, kind of what the Kansas City Chiefs do to be very successful on offense. Not going to be the same type of high-powered offense, but a lot of what you see Kansas City do, you could see Detroit do as well. So make sure you go over there so you can read that.
Yep, I agree. They got a lot of pieces. All right, who do you have at 11?
I'm going to go with Matt Ryan at number 11. The addition of Todd Gurley. Yes, I know they came out the other day and they were like, if Todd Gurley's healthy, and we're like, what are you doing, morons? You should know. You're the ones that signed him. I think he's going to end up being all right for this season, though. I think that I think they're gonna run him. I mean, it's a 1-year contract, so why not? If you get old Todd Gurley, use him. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. It's going to take some pressure off the passing game, allow for some bigger plays like Calvin Ridley this year, like Julio Jones, Hayden Hurst. I know you like as well.
I do like Hayden Hurst also. Yeah, I got Matt Ryan at number 9. Same reasons. I mean, we mentioned it with Brady. We mentioned it with Brees. The division's going to throw the ball maybe 3 passes shy of a buttload. They're going to throw the ball a lot. And I love it. I love that offense. As far as fantasy football goes, Matt Ryan should be another solid option. Number 12 for you, Kyle. Who you got?
Let's round it out with Ryan Tannehill. I mean, you have a great run game there. Ryan Tannehill obviously did excellent last year. You've got A.J. Brown, who did really good. Janu Smith is going to be a guy that we're going to talk about on the tight ends video that will be dropping, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. I mean, I really like Ryan Tannehill. But to be honest, like this 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 spot, there are several guys here that could shift in and out of these spots very, very easily. I think this is a deep year for quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. Probably one of the deepest positions in all fantasy football. It has been for the last few years. I don't have Tannehill even in my top 12, which kind of goes to what you were speaking about. But I have nothing really negative to say about him. I mean, he had that comeback year last year. Looks great, and he fits that offense perfectly. I just don't have him inside my top 12. Probably going to have him right around that 14 range for me. 2 guys that I have in my top 10 that you do not. At number 11, this is my outlier. I'm going with Jimmy G at number 11. Last year, he was quarterback 14 in a very run-heavy offense. The defense didn't get worse, but it's not any better. And if that defense struggles, he's going to have to continue to keep his foot on the gas. And now they added Brandon Ayuk in the draft. We have Deebo Samuel, a name that a lot of people forgot about. Jalen Hurd should be back this year. We already know a solid running game. This is definitely a guy who's primed to be one of those kind of a Russell Wilson-esque, just a consistent quarterback on a weekly basis. I can see that here in 2020 for Jimmy G. He's my outlier, got him at number 11. And number 12, I know you're not a fan of him this year. And I'm not really a fan of him either, but it's Aaron Rodgers. And I don't love it in 2020. If I loved it, he'd be top 5. I still think, though, that he's one of those guys that's going to go out there. He's going to throw close to 30 touchdowns, single-digit interceptions, right around 4,000 yards. Another safe option for the quarterback position. Does he maybe have the ceiling he had years ago? No, probably not. But like you said, there's a lot of different quarterbacks that we could add right here in this 10, 11, 12 spot that makes sense. I mean, it's still Aaron Rodgers. I can't believe he's going to count on #NeverFunchess. I expect a whole lot of Devontae Adams and a lot of the running backs in the backfield, but I got to put him in there at number 12. I think he's just that solid floor, that safe play here in 2020.
But you're not counting on #the Lizard King? Come on, Alan Lazard.
The Lizard King. I mean, I actually don't hate Alan Lazard in a deep league at the end of drafts, but I don't think he's going to be the second coming of all things Devontae Adams either. But yeah, that was our quick top 12. Kyle, we ran through it here pretty quick. We're going to go more in depth on these players in their individual videos. Remember, these are rankings. This is a baseline. It's May, trying to give ourselves a good foundation to build off here for the next few months. So by the time the season comes around, we have it dialed in and we know exactly which direction we're going to be going come start of 2020. If you guys have any questions, make sure you're interactive with us. Put it down below. Maybe your top 12 is a little different. I'd be interested to know what your top 12 quarterbacks were. Put them down below in the comment section, and maybe you can help try to give us some of these reasons to help clarify that 10, 11, 12 spot that's kind of hazy for a lot of people. But we appreciate the support. Make sure you head over to the website, get the draft guide if you're interested. $19.99, full of information. Me and Kyle have been working tirelessly on the draft guide. I am looking forward to June when it comes out, so I don't have to work on it anymore. But there is a ton of information.
What do you mean? We updated all off season long. It does not stop in June.
Yeah, that's true. But we have to build it all by June. At least we're just updating a little bit at a time after that. But looking forward to having that come out. You guys will definitely enjoy it. Really appreciate the support. Leave those comments down below. Hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you're looking for more in-depth information on all of these players. We greatly appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.